Guys, what's going on? It's Gray Italo here, and basically I need to get this Integra up to par so it can pass inspection. There are a few things wrong with it, and confirmed what those things are. Basically rear caliper, I'm going to do both, not just that one side, power steering belt, and basically the power window switch on the driver's side. So I'm going to take you first through the power steering belt, and we'll dive in. I'll show you how to do that. We'll get it done, and we'll move on to the other steps. Now, one thing you're going to want to remember, it's very critical to keep the car cool. So basically, if you're going to move it out of the garage, just start it up, move it out, give it 30 seconds to a minute to cool down. If you just came back from running errands, you just got the part from the store, just a quick safety tip. I know you guys probably already know this, but for newcomers to doing your own maintenance, keep the car cool, let it cool down, and then always wear some protective gloves, kind of like the ones that I have here. So yeah, guys, just a quick tip if you're new to this. Things you are going to need for this Integra power steering belt job. Get some vice grips, socket set, particularly with 12mm in there. You Honda guys know what's up. New power steering belt, some protective gloves. This should do it. If you need some like PB blaster in order to get the adjusting screw off, might need something like that to break it loose, but typically this is what you're going to need. Vice grip, socket set, power steering belt, protective gloves. Now, I've got my socket set here, the engine bay. Power steering belt is right here. So, as you can see, color's not that great on it. It is a bit frayed, and that is why it is failing inspection, or would fail inspection. So we're going to go ahead and get that out of there today, and what you're going to need to do is loosen this adjuster screw up here. You can see that that has some threading that goes down, so you can loosen that up, and you're going to need a 12mm socket to get to this bolt right here and that bolt down there. Once those two bolts are loosened, this assembly can move down a bit. So as you can see, if I move this ground wire out of the way, there's a slot there, and there's also a slot down here. So there's some up and down motion once these two are loosened, and that's going to be able to give some slack to your belt. Once that slack's there, new belt goes on. You bring this up, lock it into position there, and then proceed to tighten these two, which are both 12mm. So let's go ahead and do that. So, as you can see, guys, right here, I've just loosened this bolt and that bolt down there. I'm going to point to it for you. It's a little bit hard to get to because you have this hose running in the way, but just be patient, careful, take your time, and now you can see that track. See how that's dropped down? That ring is where that nut normally sits. Now we have some play here, and I'll show you that. There's some up and down play. So now you'll be able to get to this belt and take that off. Alright, so guys, we have been able to get the belt off the track of the pulley closest to the front of the body. Again, we adjusted this adjuster knob to get it loosened, undid our bolts to get the assembly free, and now it is coming off of the first pulley. And I'll show you. So, we have back pulley, front pulley. Back pulley, front pulley. A little dark down here, a little hard to see it, but it's going to loop over here, loop off of that. So let's get this old one out. Success! Again, so far, socket kit and some pliers just to get this loose. Pretty easy so far. So let's go ahead and get this new one on the car. And guys, just a quick note. You see that? Look at how worn out and dry that is. That is the inside track of the belt. I'll show you the outside. rough to the touch, and again, inside. You can see how cracked that is. That's why these are so critical to replace. I mean, this is your steering we're talking about. So now that this is tossed to the side, let's take a look at the new one. Much better color, right? Not all dried out. Take a look at the inside. Nice and healthy. And part number, there we go. 56992 P72004. You can get this at Honda and Acura dealerships. All right, now let's fish the new belt on. Let's take a look. So right into here. So take this, kind of bunch it up a little bit. And there's enough room right there next to the pulley to slide this in. Alright, now I just need to get it on that back pulley. Because I need 2 hands for that, I'll be back with you in a sec. Alright guys, so the belt has gone over the front pulley after securing it to the back one. It's much easier to slide it in, get it over that back pulley, and then bring it up the front. And now I've got it to where it just needs to slip over. And there we are. Nice and tracked up, on point. Now we're going to retighten this assembly and we're good to go. Alright, so guys, one of the things I didn't show you but is a pretty much big help in this job is what I call the reminder clip. So I told you about the knob at the top that is your adjuster. So you loosen that and then proceed to do the 12mm bolts. There is a clip around the threads of that bolt that will help you remember where the tension should be. So let me show you that real quick. So this plastic clip right here, when you open up your hood, boom, right? Time to do the job. Let's pretend we're before we put the belt on. This clip sits somewhere, if you still have it, along these threads. Make sure this is flush with this. Then, when you bring the assembly back up and you tighten this, as you go ahead and go righty-tighty, this clip will meet this once again, and once that's flush, you know you're back to where you started and you're at the right tension. So again, just a handy tip to keep in mind. This may be somewhere along here. Mine was more towards the top. I moved it to the bottom, undid this, did the 12s, put the belt on, started to tighten this righty-tighty back down till it was flush, tightened up my 12s, and we were good to go. So just keep that in mind. And if you don't have one of these, what you can do is just make a marking with a Sharpie or put some blue painter's tape there so that you know when it meets flush. Awesome. Yeah, that's what we want to see. A successful power steering belt change on the 2001 Acura Integra GSR. Guys, I hope this video helped you in your maintenance. Stay safe, enjoy, and keep after it. Peace.